Thanks for sticking with us. We're at the Ridge Motorsports Park, just about an hour away from Seattle. There's the State Capitol building. Michael Hill now in the booth. Greg Kramer and I have done a swap. Roger Hayden alongside me. And Roger, we are getting ready. REV'IT Twins Cup. It never fails to disappoint. We saw a great race yesterday, and I just get the feeling that today's might be even a little bit more spicy.
Yeah, and we've seen huge battles for those podium spots yesterday, and the second race is always a little bit better. Everybody gets to kind of, after the first race, see where they can be better and come out the next day and end that race weekend on a really strong note. Another thing this Twins Class Cup to watch for is the points. How tight this championship is starting to get.
Yeah, there's a lot to play for, isn't there? 50 points a weekend, double duty for these guys and girls, of course. This season is Kayla Yakov, birthday yesterday. Made some changes for the morning warm-up, and Aiden Sneed, her teammate in the Junior Cup, was holding the umbrella. There is Hayden Schultz. Didn't go out in the warm-up. Here's a look back at what happened yesterday, Roger. I think it was action-packed, wasn't it?
It was a great start by Rocco Landers, and also Dominic Doyle got a really good start.
Yeah, Dominic leading momentarily, but it was around the outside for Rocco Landers, who then really did string together 6 or 7 very, very quick laps. He set a new race circuit record on his way to extending the lead. That's the move from Hayden Schultz, moving up into second position, down through the waterfall, but Dominic didn't want to give it up.
No, Dominic didn't want to give it up at all, and then you see here Hayden crashing on the left. Gus Rodeo has a big old save there on the right, and you can see how far back he falls back in that race. And then Blake Davis here making the move on Dom. In the middle of the race, these two are going back and forth.
Yeah, they were. It was a great duel, but at the front, Rocco Landers was away with it. As we said, 5 or 6 laps where he got close to the lap record. He then smashed the lap record. Over 7 seconds in the lead, and he ultimately crossed the line first to take the checkered. Dominic Doyle finishing second. There you can see the podium celebrations. And as you said, it's always so exciting in the Twins Cup. So many manufacturers. That's the championship as the points yesterday after the initial checkered flag. Blake Davis with 103 points, 3 points ahead of Rocco Landers, who missed a couple of races. But there was drama, wasn't there, at the end of the day? There was a revision of the results due to overtaking under a yellow flag, and Rocco Landers was demoted from first to third, and that changes the complexion of the championship. Davis now with 9 points advantage, and Rocco Landers understandably frustrated, Roger, but rules are rules.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be disappointed with that, to have such a good ride, and then, you know, but there's nothing you can really do about it. It was kind of blatant, and we want MotoAmerica to really be consistent with their penalties and their rules, and that's what they're doing. Yeah,
absolutely, and obviously that disappointment, he can put it behind him. Greg Kramer is down in the pit lane. It's a bit of a swap, and Greg, over to you, buddy. What can you tell us?
Yeah, thank you very, very much. Yeah, I just wanted to talk about a couple of guys that we don't hear a lot about, but who did a great job in the race yesterday. You know, we always talk about the front couple of rows, but how about the 103 of Alex Arango? He started in the 14th spot where he qualified. He made up a ton of spots, ended up in 8th, moving up 6 spots on the grid. And we've seen him before at Daytona when it was for the Daytona 200, when they split those 2 groups, the A and B, for qualifying. He was the guy who always topped that front group, and a couple of rows behind him is the number 31, Jeff Perk, out of Norwalk, Iowa. Same sort of story. Started in the 20th spot, worked his way up, and finished in the 12th spot, making up 8 spots. So there are some guys that we don't often give a lot of attention to, who have been putting in some absolutely stellar rides this weekend, guys.
Thank you, Greg, and there you can see great scenes. The umbrellas very much in position, not because of the rain, but just because it's so hot. I mean, it's very, very humid out there, Roger.
It really, and the sun here, it seems like it puts off a lot of heat. So these riders are going to be hot. It's going to be tough. This track's super physical. We've been talking about that. It's getting hotter. Not as much wind today either, as we've seen Dominic Doyle there yesterday. Man, what a great ride by him. We've talked about all weekend about him just being consistent, eliminate those mistakes, and just have a really good race from start to finish. And that's what he did yesterday. Super smooth, consistent, and really good race by Dominic.
REV'IT Twins Cup coverage is brought to you by REV'IT Apparel, Design, Innovation, and Performance. And by Dunlop, the official tire of the MotoAmerica Championship Series.
Well, we've just heard from Greg down there on the grid. The riders are ready. The grid, as you can see, Roger, is being cleared. And this will be, I am sure, a very exciting race. Kayla Yakov, as I said, celebrating her 16th birthday yesterday. She made some changes overnight and was much quicker in the warm-up since she felt a lot more comfortable. Dominic Doyle inherited the win yesterday. He said, it's not the way that we want to win races, but we'll take it. And you would, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and just had a good race. And, you know, now I think he's got some confidence, not just because of getting that win, but his race overall in general, something he can really build on. And, you know, Kayla was talking about they've been having some shifting problems this week. The team put a new motor in last night. No big issues today. And you see Gus Rodeo there on the outside of the front row. You know, made that big mistake, lost a ton of time yesterday, but was able to close down back in that podium battle last 3 or 4 laps. So no mistakes from him today. You know, he's going to be there as well.
Yeah, and incidentally, warm-up session, it was Gus Rodeo that topped that warm-up session this morning. And again, as you said, an incredible save that anybody at any level would have been happy to save. But as you said, he took a couple of laps, regrouped. He could very much be one to watch. As they set off on the warm-up lap, this 2.5-mile circuit that was built in 2011. And Roger, it really is a special track, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's a beautiful track, and it gets better every year we come with changes and safety and asphalt adjustments, curbs being changed this year. So it's an amazing track. It's really physical. It's really tight. Not a lot of straightaways like we came from RoadAmerica, but just and some elevation as well. You see that on the left there, turn 13, kind of like the almost like the corkscrew. The chicane off the start's really tricky. As you see this track come up, you know, get everybody funneling through there. It can be tricky off the start through turn 1, 3, 4, and 5. That all is up and down and a lot of fun. Turn 6, left-hander down into turn 8. Really tricky right-hander. The front end bottoms out. Wide open up over turn 9, which is blind, my favorite corner. Then turn 11, 12, the last part of the track. Turn 13, most technical part here, onto the front straightaway, and it is a really fun lap around here.
Yeah, it is, and of course the fans at the circuit are going to be treated trackside to some great racing. Those watching on MotoAmerica Live Plus, you're also going to be treated to some fantastic aerial shots from our new drone. And I tell you what, MotoAmerica going from strength to strength in all the various cameras and things that we're bringing, and that's a great way for us to show you this great circuit. Landers will start from pole position. His teammate Rodeo, the early championship leader, in third. And what is going to be the key to getting Rocco sort of disrupted, getting into turn 1, I guess?
I think just getting in turn 1 or that first lap in front of him, because you know Rocco's going to be coming out swinging today. You know, he's going to be wanting to be more motivated than he was yesterday. I think he wants to break the outright track record as well. He was so close to that yesterday, the first couple rows. So I think the biggest thing is get a good start. Don't let him get, you know, going early, and keep taking your shots when the opportunity comes.
Yeah, we heard from Greg talking about Alex Arango. He did well. Wesley Lackas as well. We talked about him, his own personal steps forward. He moves up. And look, I'll tell you what, look at that Hannah Loper. She's made it onto the grid there.
Yeah.
So, we need to get some Roger and Mike stickers, I reckon. Yeah, we need to get that sorted out. Maybe Hannah can put us in touch with someone that can do that. Live shots then, 120 degrees track temperature. Tell you what, that is hot. That is hot. The grid is cleared. The flag marshal at the front will move to his, or rather our left-hand side. There he goes. He's going to jump over the wall. It's a 12-lap race. Landers, Doyle, Rodeo, Aprilia, Yamaha, Aprilia. Watch for the lights. Race number 2, 25 points up for grabs, and not the best start again for Rocco Landers. And just like he wasn't really ready there. And they're going to go wheel to wheel down in towards turn 1. Great overhead shots. Do they all make it safely through? It looks like they do. And has Landers managed to go around the outside like he did yesterday? The answer, Roger, is yes.
Yeah, was able to be on line there on the inside in that turn 1, had the position and let off the brakes. And now you see Blake Davis, great start for him there in third. Dominic's come to do what he did yesterday, try to latch on to Rocco early.
Yeah, through that little complex of corners there. A reminder of how you can get in touch with us on our social media channels. Please do. We like hearing from the fans around the world. But Rocco Landers doing what Rocco Landers does and tries to break them as Blake Davis takes a look on the inside. Oh, wasn't much room there. It's only lap 1 of 12. Davis, though, with that extended lead in the championship, with what happened yesterday, and he will be conscious in terms of the overall bigger picture. He can't afford to allow Rocco Landers to escape, because Landers could, depending on the result, lead the championship at the end of this race.
And I think that's why you see him so aggressive early on that first lap, is he sees Rocco slowly trying to pull away, and he wants to latch on and try to go with Rocco, and if he can't run with him the whole race, try to pull him away from that other group.
Yeah, a little bit wide through that switchback there for Blake Davis. Manages to get it gathered up. Hayden Schultz, who sadly went down yesterday. I spoke to him last night. He said he was so happy, he felt so comfortable, and just lost the front. But it's so easy to do here. It's such a technical track, as you've already said.
And up where he crashed too, the front end gets really light. You can see he was aggressive early, and he'll put that behind him today. And you see these top couple guys are really not letting Rocco get away too quick.
Yes, sorry, I just saw the snaking Hayden Schultz coming in. With one thing we know from Hayden, he is very, very good on the brakes, and he's already taken another couple of bike lengths out of the 2 Yamahas ahead of him. So lap 1 completed, Landers leads, and little hand signal there. I'm not sure what that was all about. Maybe just giving a thumbs up to the team as they head down in towards turn 1, and it is a 0.8 of a second advantage. It's not a foregone conclusion, but Rocco's got the hammer down, and look at that little gap back now. We've got Yamaha, Yamaha, Yamaha. Hayden Schultz is there and just getting up to speed. Gus Rodeo. And if one thing we know from Rodeo, as you've already said, Roger, he's only going to get quicker as this race goes on.
Yeah, toward the end of the race yesterday was really fast, one of the fastest guys on track. So for him, if he doesn't have that mistake early, you can see these 4 guys are really starting to bunch up, and Rocco's just doing what he does and trying to get away. We see Blake gonna make that pass. See, Dominic is on the racing line really going through that corner, but when you do that, you open up the inside there, and Blake's able to capitalize.
Yeah, that is a lovely move from the defending champion. He now slots into second position, and as it stands, possibly one of his arch rivals, one of his closest contenders for the overall championship, is now ahead of him, but that gap is increasing. As you can see, Gus Rodeo, as we said, is now starting to find his rhythm as well, swarming all over the back of Hayden Schultz. And this is a really intriguing 4-rider fight. It's an 8-wheeler. And just in the back of the picture is that Kayla that's also joining the party.
Kayla's having a great ride too. Looks like whatever problems they have. She hasn't had a lot of track time this weekend with the issues they got. And looks like today she might be a little bit quicker than that group in front of her. Yeah,
Kayla, there you can see the blue machine, the 1:31 of Kayla Yakov took her first win. As there goes Hayden Schultz on the brakes. We said he was good on the brakes, and he gets it done. That's a carbon copy of yesterday.
Yeah, really good job by Hayden getting in there deep and not overshooting the corner. Going to put him offline a little bit. Rest of the that part of the track, but he made the pass.
Yeah, up now into third position, and he said he loves coming here, he loves the circuit. And as a former rider, when you obviously are riding at a circuit that you enjoy, it does make life a little bit easier. We're going to go down to Greg though, because Greg, you're down there. What can you tell us about Kayla? She's having a very, very good second lap, and she's now latched onto the back of that group for second.
Yeah, she had told me a little bit earlier today that they'd been chasing. It was an electronics issue, and then there was an issue with the gearbox. She said in the morning warm-up, the bike felt great, and she said, I really believe that I've got the possibility, the potential for a podium today. And of course, she's really looking. This place means so much to her in general. She really would like a good result here, and she's feeling pretty confident this morning.
Yeah, and she should indeed feel confident. As I said, Roger, the place where she took her first win in MotoAmerica, and as I said earlier, if it's a track that you like, you don't have to, worry too much. If you enjoy going somewhere, you're going to be naturally relaxed, aren't you?
And going into this race, she had to be really excited, just knowing how fast she was the previous year. Little extra confidence going into the weekend, and for her, she's kind of been put in a rough spot this year, coming in injured, missing the first couple races. By the time she joins, the class, everybody's got a couple races under their belt. And but she's did a great job. Already got a couple podiums this year, and look at her now. She's closing down in this group.
Rocco Landers has a 1.7 second lead, and as we look at our timing screens, that gap is stabilized on this lap, as now Rodeo has a look on the inside. Oh, and that is very tight. Luckily, they all make it through. Yeah, you just get the feeling now as we're about to start lap number 4 that Rodeo has just done what he typically has done all season long, just settled into his rhythm. He's going to be one to watch, but that gap at the front is about a second, 1.7 seconds. What is it this time across? It's got up to 2.3, so Rocco very, very strong in the third sector. That's where he made a lot of time.
Yeah, Rocco is about a half a second quicker lap right now, and that's why he's put out a 2.3 second lead there. And then also Blake. Blake looks like he's about a half a second quicker than that group behind him. And Dominic Doyle's coming under a lot of pressure right now from Gus Rodeo.
Yeah, Rodeo's starting, as I said, to find his groove. He's a rider that has got a lot of experience. He's a tidy rider, isn't he? He's a very, very tidy rider. Just goes about his business quietly. And now he has a look on the inside. Is he not quite close enough? Kayla Yakov is there to pick up the pieces, and I believe that was the pink and blue just in the background. Jackson Blackman on the last lap as well, also now lapping as quickly as Schultz in third position. So this is turning into a real fight for third position. There's going to be a few disappointed riders at the end of this race.
And it's just going to get tighter as this race goes on. And Gus just looks like he's sitting behind Dominic, just looking for a place to pass. He following the last lap. A couple opportunities coming up here in turn 13, maybe a high-low move and do the block pass there.
Yeah, unfortunately, we seem to have lost one of our riders. And he is okay, as you can see. Just goes over to pick up the bike. There is Landers, that fluorescent yellow helmet. Takes a big, long look over his shoulder. Not quite as quick as yesterday, but look at the gap back. And I guess, Roger, the good thing for Blake, looking at Rocco slowly disappearing, is he's not disappearing as quick as he did yesterday. Here's a replay on the left-hand side. And
couple guys in front of him touch wheels. They slowed up, and he had nowhere to go.
Yeah, that was Tyler Duffy, unfortunately, that went down.
And Gus has made the pass on Dom.
Yeah, good spot. He has indeed, and Gus is going to go 2 for 1 as he comes down along the start and finish alongside. Not much in it in terms of top speed. He's going to have to be very, very good on the brakes because Hayden Schultz tries to let the brakes off. But he was in the right position there, wasn't he? Right. Absolutely perfect.
Right spot, and Gus has really had a really good last half of that lap, gave him two spots. I mean, it's hard to pass here, and Gus is making it happen.
Yeah, Gus now moves up onto the podium. Let's not forget, as Roger has said, this championship is long. 50 points around, and we've seen this championship decided at the last round before, haven't we? So it's not a foregone conclusion. The championship can't be won here, but it could be lost.
And just, with it being so competitive, you have a bad race, you could be down in 7th or 8th in Twins Cup. As competitive it is, you see some parts of the bike out there, but just a couple little parts, it's not really going to slow these guys down. Yeah,
Hayden Schultz then obviously looking to secure a points finish this weekend. Currently in that 4th position. Here's a look yesterday at that save. Just talk us through that as a rider. I mean, that's a change of underpants job there, isn't it?
I mean, just as long as he rode that front wheel turned under like that, not sure. And he didn't have his elbow down to save it. We didn't see the beginning of Hayden's crash, but I'm assuming it's a front end as it kind of gets light up over that hill, maybe pushing a little bit too hard early in that race.
Yeah, of course. And if you were watching yesterday, we were going all crazy about the save, and it was only when we saw him stand up that we realized that we'd lost Hayden Schultz. So good to see that he is okay and absolutely able to race in this second race. We're not even at half distance yet. As down the waterfall we go, and there in the back of the picture is Jackson Blackman. Again, another rider that's kind of been under the radar this weekend, but again, if anybody's going to challenge for the podium, Jackson for sure is going to be a contender.
Yeah, just he's closed down that little gap to that group, and now he's trying to look like he can make a pass on Kayla. I think, these riders can see that a couple of the other guys are making some passes, and as we see another rider go down, half of the race is left, they know they got to get going.
Yeah, and I think that is the 1-1-1, is it?
It is.
Yeah. Or is it the 1-7-1? Let's wait to get that confirmed, because I don't. Oh no, we do have a 1-1. Yeah, maybe it was. Let's just wait till we get that confirmed. I think it was the triple one. But either way, his displeasure was very much taken out at the motorcycle. Clearly thought it was the bike's fault, didn't he? As he hoofed it in. We are getting confirmation it was Austin Sierra.
And that last lap, Gus was about 8/10 quicker than Blake, and you can see how close he is now.
Yeah, this is what we saw yesterday, isn't it? When he closed in on that battle for that podium spot. He ultimately had to settle for 4th position. Oh, a little bit of a slide there, and he now is in the groove, isn't he? Looking for a podium. The team said they just want to secure as many points as possible and just get Gus back on the podium, get him confident as this season moves into the second half. And on his day, he's unbeatable, Gus Rodeo, isn't he?
He's been awesome this year. Been really, really impressive moving up in the Twins Cup, how fast he's been. Consistent winning races already, and he's there every single weekend.
Last year, of course, the rodeo racing team were victorious with the Aprilia, and Anthony Mazziotto taking the win. They were denied the victory yesterday, of course, and they're going to be looking for their what would be their 3rd win out of 4 races in the Twins Cup. Not a bad record for the team,
not
is
at
it?
all.
Absolutely not. Over the start line we go, and there's not much between these bikes, the Yamaha R7 and the Aprilia RS660. Seems to be pretty much a 50-50 split now, doesn't it? There is the team looking down into turn 1, but Blake Davis manages to hang on, and sideways once again is Hayden Schultz. I tell you what, he's all action, isn't he, Hayden Schultz?
He's giving it everything. He sees those 2 guys there in the podium battle kind of slowly pulling away from him. That last lap, he did the exact same lap time as those guys, but he's going to have to be a couple tenths quicker a lap if he wants to close it down.
Yeah, that is the spot yesterday where we saw Gus Rodeo have that rodeo moment. No problems today so far for Rodeo. This, of course, would be his first time on the podium for a couple of rounds. There's been a couple of incidents, and bad luck has kind of befell Rodeo. What's the lap time?
And that last lap, I mean, the guys behind Blake Davis is about a half a second quicker, all the way down to Jackson Blackman.
Yes.
So I don't know if he's running into some grip issues or not, but, you know, he keeps giving them a half a second a lap. They're going to close that down before the end of this race.
Yeah, different lines. Davis, of course, carrying the quarter speed. Oh, and a lot more quarter speed there from Rodeo, who gets the run up towards the end. They're going to go side by side. Oh, there's not much room there.
Gus might try to go the inside here.
Tell you what, he was riding pillion with him then.
Just wasn't close enough. But you can see Gus is starting to get a little impatient.
Yeah, he's getting frustrated because maybe he knows that the guys behind him have also got pace.
He's reading the board. He sees his gap to the guys behind him shrinking as well.
Yeah, Rodeo carried speed. I was just sort of complimenting Blake Davis on the speed that he had. He's not close enough, is he? And again, one thing that Rodeo is not going to do, he's not going to send it and risk a crash, is he? Down through the waterfall, great aerial shots, and it really does, just even from that angle, you can see the elevation, can't you?
You can see the elevation. You can also see how close this group of 5 is getting.
Yeah, this is going to turn into, with 5 laps remaining, it's going to turn into a, what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It could be a 12-wheeler, this, as they come across the line. No trouble at the moment, though, for Rocco Landers through the chicane. And again, we haven't really talked about the different characteristics as Rodeo takes a big, long look over his shoulder. Doesn't have to look too far, does he? But these bikes, of course, different characteristics, and that around a track like this will also play a difference.
I think Gus, too, wants to see the gap to the guys behind him if it's closing quicker. How aggressive does he need to be to make these passes? Because this track is hard to pass. When you make a pass, it's going to be pretty aggressive.
Rodeo again just quite happy to keep a watching brief and learning a lot of information. Of course, for Blake Davis, this can play as an advantage, but it can also be a disadvantage because he's got no real mirrors. He can't see where Gus Rodeo is positioning himself, and at the moment, he's the one that is the target, isn't he? Rodeo is able to learn where he can maybe attack, and if the move comes...
This is where last lap where Gus was a lot quicker through this right-hander.
Yeah, and you can see it again, and again he goes side by side. There's not much room there.
That is a really fast corner there, and it's blind.
Yeah, I mean, he clearly carries a lot more corner speed, could be down to gearing as well, but if he's going to make the move there, he's going to have to be very, very precise. You can see he's very close to the edge of the circuit, and if he runs off the track there, well, he's going to be in the forest. Here's a replay, Roger. Talk us through
this. Right down the left side, Blake just doesn't do that right-hander very fast, and it kills his drive. That's uphill. I think if it was the last lap, Gus would have maybe forced the issue.
Yeah, and again, as we've said, Blake maybe doesn't even realise he's there at that point. Of course, Blake riding for the N2 team, and again, they go side by side, different lines, both of them with the front wheel coming in the air. They may only be little twins bikes, but they've definitely got some power. And again, now they go side by side across the line, and Blake Davis is going to have to let the brakes off. Ooh! Oh, and Rodeo runs straight on. Gus Rodeo runs straight on.
Slow down, don't make up any time. He's going to have to let Blake back by.
Yeah, he's got to follow in behind him.
Go.
Oh, that's it. He's mitigated any advantage. That is great riding. Great riding from Gus Rodeo, and that's what it says in the rules. No advantage gained. Smart thinking at what, 4 laps to go. Smart thinking, but again, all that is doing is bringing Dominic Doyle, Hayden Schultz, and Kayla Yakov and Jackson Blackman back into this fight.
And I think for Gus, just kind of take a breath. He knows now he's followed Blake for a couple laps where he's faster.
Blake Davis now knows that it's Rodeo, doesn't he? And yeah. Here's a replay. Talk us through it.
Just tried to brake as late as possible. Wanted to make that pass. Knows he has more pace than Blake and just got in too hot. Was really a smart move. If he would have made the corner, would have maybe lost the front end, picked it up. a couple laps ago and try to make the pass again. It looks like he's made that pass where he's been setting him up the whole race, because Gus has now worked his way into second.
Yeah, he has, and look who now is up into fourth. Look in the back of the picture, there it is, the white machine, the winner from yesterday, Dominic Doyle, has now got up into fourth position, and he can sniff another podium here. And there's Jackson Blackman. There are about 6 bikes fighting for 2 places on the podium, with Rocco Landers 9.4 seconds ahead of this fight for second and third. Down through the waterfall, Rodeo looking to make it a Rodeo Racing Robum Engineering 1-2.
Blake really needs to latch on to Gus here.
Yes.
The group behind him is coming really quick.
Yeah, and Dominic Doyle, he's been a bit absent, hasn't he, in this race? Not sure what happened. Maybe they tried a different tyre. But now, as this race progresses, as Kelly Yakov goes through on the inside and almost makes contact with the similarly coloured Hayden Schultz. Again, great shots from our overhead drone. Just, again, showing the viewers at home just how technically demanding and challenging this 2.47-mile circuit is in the middle of the pine forest. No time to look at the trees and the wildlife or search for Bigfoot at the moment for Rodeo, as he's got Blake Davis now all over the back of him, and Davis has not given up on this potential win. If they stay as they are now, Rocco Landers and Blake Davis would be level at the top of the championship, and they'd only be 1 or 2 points back to Gus Rodeo. As you said, this championship's going all the way to the flag.
And Blake right now is going to have the opportunity to see where he was losing all that time to Gus. This is where, you know, right here, this fast right-hander here, you can see where Gus is just able to carry so much more momentum up over that hill.
And we are just being told that one rider that will not feature in this battle for the podium will be Jackson Blackman. He has been given a 3-second penalty for exceeding track limits. So unfortunately, Jackson Blackman will still keep him in 7th place, but a penalty there. As we look on the left-hand side, Kevin Rodeo there on the left with the sunglasses, Frank in the middle, and the whole team watching on. Tense moments for them, because at the moment they're sitting on what would be 45 points for that team, 25 for the win, 20 for second.
Yeah, the team first and second would be a great run for that team, but you can see Blake is not giving up on that second spot yet.
Rocco Landers, look at the lead. It's the full length of the start and finish straight. But for Gus Rodeo in second, this would be a much needed confidence boost for all the dramas that have gone on over the last couple of races. He is going to remind everybody, hey, I'm still a contender, I'm still in this fight, and it's going to be a very well-deserved podium finish if he can just hang on.
Look at Caleb.
Yeah, Kelly Yakov now up into 4th, and a mistake surely on that lap for Dominic Doyle. We didn't see what happened because he was 4th.
Yeah, he did a 49.8 that lap, 2 seconds off, so he definitely made a mistake somewhere and gave up those spots.
Yeah, he's going to have to redo all the hard work, and that might just be any chance of a podium today gone for the winner from yesterday. Kelly Yakov, this is a very much resurgence from Kayla, isn't it? As you said, she had some issues over the weekend as Schultz had a little look on the inside, but this will be a very, very solid job for Kayla Yakov. 13 points. Again, just reminding us that she's not out of this fight either.
And just gaining the experience on the Twins Cup bike, missing a couple races earlier in the year, and just really putting a really solid race together.
We are just hearing that Bike 96, Gus Rodeo, was under review for that incident at turn 1. And as we called it, no penalty for the 96 of Gus Rodeo, because he did not gain an advantage. And that is very, very smart from him. As we see into the waterfall, down the hill. And what happened yesterday when there was a penalty for this guy, Rocco Landers. No mistakes today, and what a turnaround. What a difference 24 hours makes. I spoke to him earlier on today. He said, I'm not going to make any mistakes today. We're going to make amends. I'm sorry to the team. We're going to make amends and get the job done today. And he's now, what, about 1 minute 47 seconds away from getting the job done?
And that's what you got to do. You know, you got to have a short memory in racing. Don't carry that over to today and make another mistake. Don't, you know, mistake yesterday. A lot of times you can try to, you know, really be extra motivated the next day and then make more mistakes. And he went out there and did what he's supposed to do. 11-second lead now. He can kind of cruise this last lap, not take any chances.
Yeah, there is the leader. There is one of the back markers. And we wait for this fight. There was less than 0.2 of a second between them. I tell you what, this is not over. This is not over. Up over turn 3 into turn 4. The front of the bike wants to wash out, but they're both still there. This is where the Yamaha will just be a little bit more agile, and he carries the speed. You called it, Roger. Blake Davis wants second position. This is for the championship lead, remember? Oh, he goes wide. Now he's going to cut back. This is where he made the move earlier.
Blake, when Gus was a little bit wide there, was able to hold the line. Here's another opportunity down in turn 8 where he can maybe cut up the inside here if Gus drifts wide, but he doesn't. Now we're going to go part of that track where Gus has been faster than Blake up this hill.
Yeah, a small mistake there. He missed the apex by about 1.5 meters, and that's all it's taken to open this advantage to what, maybe 3 bike lengths now as they come through the chicane. It's still not over. Davis goes late on the brakes. He's closing back in. He's got one more chance. It's going to be the waterfall.
And there's lap traffic as well.
Yeah, good spot. Gus Rodeo has to position that Aprilia RS660 absolutely perfectly. There's no mistake on the run from the waterfall for the 97. We're not going to know for another couple of seconds as to whether or not Blake Davis is going to make the move for second. No mistaking the winner. No mistakes. 25 points. And Blake Davis, All Rodeo, is going to get second. It's 25 points to Rocco Landers. He takes the win. We now pan back, and who is going to finish second? Oh, it's going to be Davis. Davis at the waterfall. We didn't see it, but Blake Davis will leave across the line, and we're going to get a replay. We didn't see it live, but a second position for Blake Davis. That is great form. The youngster, the defending champion.
Good sportsmanship, too, between those two.
And a great wheelie as well from the defending champion. Rodeo is going to be a little bit disappointed with that. There's Kelly Yakov in 4th position. We were looking, and there's still a fight going on. It is going to be Joe Lamandri Jr. who had some incident. Oh, and it gets really tight. Parrish. Oh, Parrish gets it a little bit wrong down the waterfall, and Lamandri Jr., who ran off track early on, now moves through and is going to finish, I believe, in the top 8th. That's a great recovery.
He's picked up 3 spots this last lap.
Yeah, great.
Unless he gives one up here.
Across the line goes Jacob Crossman. Crossman's had a great weekend, hasn't he? Another top 10 finish. Alex Arango, who we spoke to, or talked about rather, on the grid. But no mistaking the winner, Rocco Landers. And does he realise this race is over? I don't think he's seen the flag. We have had the flag, right? Let's have a look then at this second place move. We didn't see it live, but as ever, great camera work. We don't miss a trick here on MotoAmerica. Talk us through this.
See, Blake just got a good run out of 12 and put himself up on the inside, and now being behind him there, he can release the brake, and at this point, Blake is in charge of the corner.
Yeah, and there's the back marker who doesn't know that they're coming. Well, he does now.
And he squeezed Gus a little bit.
Yeah, that was a nice move, wasn't it? Really good job. And again, as I said, great direction. As I said, if you are watching for the first time, you don't miss a trick on MotoAmerica Live Plus. Not anything ever missed. Rocco Landers, though, takes the win with a wheelie. It's the 97 on top.
REV'IT Twins Cup coverage is brought to you by REV'IT Apparel, Design, Innovation, and Performance. And by Dunlop, the official tire of the MotoAmerica Championship Series.
A look then at the Seattle Tower in the background as we switch back to live pictures of Rocco Landers, who is celebrating. And as I said yesterday, a distant memory, Roger. No mistakes, and that was a perfect win for the former champion.
Didn't put a wheel wrong.
No, he didn't.
You know, great start. Was aggressive early and just does what Rocco really does. Look at that race pace there, 46.5. All the way down to lap 8 was all within 3/10. I mean, even to look at lap 9 was the same. So lap 2, if you look at all the way to lap 9, all within 2 or 3/10.
Yeah, and in the end, an 11-second win for Rocco Landers. Obviously, that gap growing, obviously, because there was a bit of a fight going on. So we have to take that into consideration. But Davis with a perfectly timed move, should I say, into second position. And Davis will head to the next round, still leading the championship. Let's have a look then at the results as the riders come back into pit lane. 21 minutes, 29 seconds, 007. James Bond would have been proud of that, wouldn't he, with a win. 11 seconds over Blake Davis. And a welcome return, Roger, to the podium for Gus Rodeo.
Yeah, and great ride by him. You know, yesterday made that mistake, got close to the podium, and today was really aggressive early. And that was a solid ride for Gus and a great comeback weekend after what happened at Barber.
Yeah, Kayla Yakov, Dominic Doyle, Hayden Schultz, Jackson Blackman, and Joe Lamandri Jr. rounding out our top 8 with Jacob Crossman. The riders now coming into pit lane. They'll go down to the podium, and of course Greg will be down there to talk to the top 3, and I'm sure it's going to be a very ecstatic and happy Rocco Landers. Also for that team as well, not first and second, but first and third. Not a shabby achievement at all. That's a very, very solid result for that team.
Very good result, and they've been podium, you know, every race this year. They've had a bike on the podium.
Yeah, absolutely. And Blake Davis just talking to his dad there. And also credit the N2 Yamaha. Big smiles down there, and every reason to smile, as we said, and that top Yamaha. Let's have another look then of this pass. You can see why he's smiling.
Yeah, just look at him getting this really good run right here. And he actually kind of, the lapper in front of him, he kind of squeezes Gus behind that lapper a little bit. If Gus tries to go around the outside of him, he might get into that lapper. But Blake did a great job by getting in there, getting himself in the spot for the corner, and not overshooting it there and letting Gus sneak back by down the hill.
Yeah, two very young riders had a great battle. Lots of respect between them as well, wasn't there? Lots of respect. Let's have a look then. And is he still smiling? Yeah, he is.
Yeah, we are.
he is. He's smiling underneath that. There is Frank down there. Rocco Landers on the podium. And you just know the shrug. That's because he asked about the lap record. I'm convinced that he asked about the lap record. I went, oh, you just missed it. But you know what? It doesn't matter, does it? Because as you said, he didn't put a wheel wrong, did he? Great to see Rocco back on the top step. And I believe, Greg, you're down there somewhere in the mix of all of that excitement.
I am indeed. Excitement is the word down here. Rocco getting the helmet off, but absolutely another stellar race, Rocco. I know a tough day yesterday with that penalty, but man, you just put that behind you. You focused and rode an absolutely beautiful race.
Yeah, things felt good. We didn't make any changes, believe it or not, from qualifying to now. Things feeling amazing. I got rodeo racing, road engineering, making my bike look amazing. Aprilia, they're here. Thank you guys, REV'IT, HJC, everyone has helped me out. These guys ran awesome races. They showed me the white flag, I guess, for next lap too late, whatever. I don't care. I always like doing a parade lap.
Well, you did that. Another great ride. Congratulations, man. Going to head on over here and talk to our defending champion. And I'll tell you what, you don't win a championship without showing some pretty effective skills. And I'll tell you what, that last lap pass into 13, using that lap rider as a pick, that was a thing of beauty, man.
Thank you. It was a crazy race. You know, I felt really good all race. Felt like I had a lot of pace. I got a better start than yesterday, so that really helped out. Just felt amazing. Gus ran me down at the end there, and he made a little mistake, went wide in the chicane, but he got back by me, and I knew I had to make a move, so I felt really strong in 13 on the brakes all weekend, so I knew I could do it there, and just such a fun race.
You laid it down there, and that's, you just keep doing this in terms of getting those points. Well done.
Thank you. I would like to thank, I forgot to thank my sponsors, N2, Bobblehead Racing, or Bobblehead Moto, KYT, Dainese, SBS is really helping me on the brakes, is helping me make passes on Gus on the last lap. Just everyone that's helped me out this weekend, it's amazing.
Well, you paid him off with an absolutely remarkable ride to the podium. And heading over quickly to Gus Rodeo here. Gus, you ran everybody down there and got up into second. Did you ultimately, did you use up a little bit too much tire?
No, I just, we've been struggling with a little bit of bike setup all weekend. And I made a couple mistakes that hurt me a little bit. And I'm just happy to finish both races this weekend, get points. Drama-free weekend, so we love that. And yeah, I'll take a podium back home with me, regroup, get ready for California. And I just got to thank the whole team, Rodeo Racing, everybody. Hi, Dennis. Thank you. HJC, Moto Liberty, Mob Racing, Luxstar VIP, NJ Mini GP. They're having a race today, so good luck to everybody. And yeah, I'm excited for Cali.
All right, we're excited to watch you guys race in Cali, no question about that. And for Gus, after a little bit of a struggle, obviously, at Barber, nice to bring a podium home here, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. We're looking forward to Cali as well, Roger. Blake Davis now has an 11-point lead in the championship over over Rocco Landers, Gus Rodio's teammates. Hayden Schultz, Jackson Blackman, Dominic Doyle. There's still a long way to go, though. Stay with us on MotoAmerica Live Plus. We are getting ready for Super Sport and Superbike racing. We'll leave you with some slow-mo pictures of the REV'IT Twins Cup race winner, the wheeling Rocco Landers.